going to talk about some of these fake cards that have been popping up within the space recently. Now make sure you guys smash the crap out of that subscribe button so you guys don't miss out on more Oz content. Yesterday morning these started to make their rounds around social media, and I wanted to mention these because it's important to stay educated so that you don't fall for some of these cards. Now we have solo polymerization, and I do want to talk about these within the creative card space. So solo polymerization, you only activate one card with this card's name per turn. You can fusion summon a non-effect fusion monster from your extra deck by using only one normal or non-effect monster you control whose name is mentioned on that fusion monster as material, but it cannot declare an attack while you control other monsters. This is kind of an interesting take, actually. Being able to use a single normal monster that is listed on a card does open up some interesting design space for what you could use, but this is also on a quick play. So basically, you went an extra route with the design for this. You could have just said tribute a non-effect monster to summon out a monster whose name is mentioned on that fusion monster. This, becomes counted as the fusion summon. That would have been an easy takeaway with this, but that wasn't the goal and idea of what they were trying to do with this. They just wanted to make it very convoluted, but it is kind of interesting watching the little poly art here where it is eating its own tail. And then we have this Bold Mephist, which is a Light Fiend. Oh boy, Light Fiend straight off of the bat here. And it is a, what is this? A level 8. Okay. So Pendulum effect. Each time a player pendulum summons a monster, they take 300 damage. Yeah, it seems like something Konami would do. When you pendulum summon, you can also pendulum summon pendulum monsters from your graveyard. Any pendulum monster special summon from the graveyard while this card was face up in your pendulum zone becomes zombie type while face up on the field, even if this card leaves the field. Okay. Once per turn, you can target up to 2 pendulum cards on the field, return them to the hand, and if you do, take 300 damage for each. That's your monster effect. So this is very convoluted. I can pendulum summon from my graveyard for zombies? That's kind of a strong effect. But whatever I would pendulum summon here is going to become a zombie monster. Why? I mean, like that's a design space for sure. I can't imagine in what space that I would want to use this card. Why would I want to take advantage of pendulum summoning from the graveyard, especially when this is, a giant level 8. Like that's a pretty bold commitment on that. Then we have the Serious Possum. Yeah, I'm serious about this art. This is a beast level 2 with 900 attack, 600 defense. Now you can only use this card's third effect once per battle. So this thing cannot attack your opponent directly. If this card battles, it becomes unaffected by other card effects during damage calculation only. And if this card battles an opponent's monster during damage calculation, you can send one non-effect monster from your extra deck to the graveyard. This card gains attack equal to the sent monster's original attack till the end of this turn. This thing is using my extra deck to give my opponent rabies, which is hilarious. It is awful in terms of card design. This could actually be a real card. I mean, a 900 beast that can't attack directly becomes unaffected during a battle and can send something from my extra deck to the graveyard. I don't know, man. That seems not like the worst thing that Konami could cook up. And then we have this thing called Eternal Friendship. So this thing does not have a pendulum scale, but it is a level 5. So a monster effect. During your main phase, if you have no cards in your pendulum zone, you can activate this effect. Make this card and other pendulum monsters with a different pendulum scale in your... Hold on. Make this card and other pendulum monsters with a different pendulum scale in your hand become revealed until the end of your next turn. While both cards are revealed, you cannot place cards in your pendulum zone. Also, you can pendulum summon using pendulum scales except the revealed cards. What convoluted ass backwards-ery is this? This should work with just, I can reveal this and another pendulum in my hand. I can use those scales to pendulum summon. So you're telling me that you wanted cards that gave us the ability to do pendulum summons from the hand without placing scales? I mean, I guess that wouldn't have been the worst design space that we've had. And then we have Good Night Nemorelia. we do need Nemorelia support. This is a level 10? So, 0 attack, 2700 defense. I guess while I'm sleeping, I have more defense, even though I feel like it should be 0. So during your opponent's main phase quick effect, you can send this card from your hand to graveyard to apply one of the following effects. We can target one face-up monster on the field, change that target to face-down defense position. Or we can target one of your opponent's cards that is banished face-up, change it to banished face-down instead, and negate its activated effects, if any. Interesting. You can only use each effect of Good Night Nemorelia once per turn. Interestingly enough, this is a hand trap. During your opponent's main phase, banish this card from your hand to the graveyard. I'll send this card from hand to graveyard to apply. Okay, so I don't know. This seems okay. And then we've got the Pink Resignator. Okay. I love the fact that it's got a little dress on. This one's kind of cute. So this is a Fiend Tuner, level 1, 100 attack, and 1100 defense. Now, during the turn, you haven't special summoned a monster. You can activate this effect. Reveal this card in your hand, and a normal monster from your hand or deck. Immediately after the effect resolves, synchro summon a synchro monster from your extra deck with the same type and attribute as that normal monster by using the reveal cards as material. I like this. This is a pretty interesting card. Now, it does have to be same type and attribute. Obviously, what level 7 Dark Dragon... Red Eyes? Red Eyes Black Dragon? So you use Pink Resonator in combination with Red Eyes to basically set up this extra strong body, which would be like a Red Dragon Archfiend, for example. This is a good example of good design space within the game that I would love to have seen actually be explored. But unfortunately, we don't get that because, this is a custom card, unfortunately. Once again, we're looking at these cards from the design space and just being curious for what's going on and why they made these. Then we have the Magikuriboh Apprentice. Now, this was the first one I saw, and me and my friend sat down for like 20 minutes figuring this card out and how to do it. So you can only use this card's names, first and second effects, each per turn. During the main phase, we can quick effect, send this card from your hand to the graveyard to target a Magician Girl monster you control. For the rest of this turn after this card resolves, you cannot normal or special summon monsters except for Magician Girls. Also, special summon any number of Magician Girl monsters from your deck with different names from each other and that monster. Yes, you can OTK with this. If one or more monsters you control that are Magician Girl monsters and or that were fusion summoned using Dark Magician Girl's material be destroyed by a card effect, you can banish this card from your graveyard instead. If I have any Magician Girl on the field, we can send this to bring out Shining... Well, you're probably going to have the Shining Sarcophagus Dark Magician Girl on the field. So you bring out Dark Magician Girl. I believe it was Kiwi, Apple, and Chocolate. Kiwi gives... Since it's 300 for every additional Dark Magician Girl, or every Magician Girl on the field. Remember, Dark Magician Girl and the Dark Magician Girl Shining Sarcophagus, whatever her name is, fully... Magician's Apprentice will have different names. So you will get a 1200, 1500 boost across the field, and you can OTK with this card. There. Congratulations. I figured it out so that you didn't have to. Card's not real, though. I really, really, really wish that it was. And then we have the Mulcharmy Abissato. So this is a Dark Sea Serpent effect monster with 100 attack, 600 defense. Interesting stat lines. Now, if you control no cards, quick effect, you can discard this card to apply these effects during this turn. So once per turn, when your opponent special summons a monster, you can immediately set one monster. Huh? And then during your end phase, if the number of cards in your hand is more than your opponent controls, you can set any number of spell and trap cards from your hand. Oh, okay. You can only activate one other Mulcharmy effect the turn you activate this. Why? Why does this let me set? Why does this give me, these awkward abilities? Like, That seems so convoluted for what they were trying to do, but alas, there you go. We've busted the myth. Yeah, interesting design space, though. I will give them some credits. Please, so comment down below. Tell me what you guys think. I'll see your beautiful faces back later in the day, guys. Patrons, thank you.
Thank you so much for watching. Check out these other videos.